you. Brilliant. Thank you very much for coming round, because you caught me in one of my best moods, the best moods I've been for. I'm in such a good mood, I ain't even bothered collecting the rent off the students in the attic. I'm in such a good mood. I'll tell you why. I'll break the news. I should keep these things to myself and be cool, but I'm just bursting with excitement. I had a transatlantic telephone call today with Steven Spielberg, who you may or may not know is a film producer, director, and he's going to do it. He's going to do the story. He's going to do Millsy's List. Right? This is great. I don't know if you know the story. I was instrumental when the pits closed down in Wales. I did smuggle 1,000 Welsh people out of Wales and give them all work. They all work, well, for me, really, in my house, cleaning, scrubbing, doing kind of domestic work. And he's gonna immortalise me on celluloid, which is absolutely fabulous. I'm delighted about that. Also delighted that this photo, I got my photos back from the developers, and this one's come back. This is me and one of my many, many girlfriends. This is me and Cindy Crawford. That's us in Richmond Park there. It's a very candid shot somebody took. That's me going, Cindy, 5 times is enough for anybody. Please, think that's a lovely shot there. I want to show you this, right? I'll have to bend down and pick this up, right? I found this in my loft, right? I don't know if it means anything to you, but I found this in my loft and it just took me back to when I was a kid. Remember when you was a kid, you saved up all your pocket money, you saved it all up and you bought yourself a Super Bowl. First day of the summer holidays, you thought, great, the other lads can do whatever they want. I've got my Super Bowl to play with all through the summer. And then you go... and then never ever see it again. And some little urchin 17 miles away, 4 hours later, would go, oh, look, Mum, I found a Super Bowl. Probably Welsh, I would imagine. I want to show you this as well. I hate these so much. My granddad keeps buying them for me. Right? Maybe the old soak will die soon and I can just chuck them away. Actually, as I'm staying in, I might as well eat some later, because normally, of course, at this point in my life, I'd be out and about. I was showing you a few weeks ago, me and my dad done some building here. I was helping him out. There's a bloke, really rich bloke, got a penthouse. He wanted an extension built, like conservatory, sun garden, all that. We've done that for him. That's all right, that. That's great. It's ventilated and everything. That let the sun stream in there. That's smashing there. £140 you paid for that. Money well spent. Cheap at twice the price. So. That's my Auntie Lou, right? She lost all her shopping, right? She's never got over it. She had loads of shopping from Safeways and she lost it all. She's just been wandering around like that ever since. Tragic, really, but she's entitled. Let me tell you what this is. It's South London, Old Kent Road, I think, somewhere around there. And this is the squad that go out in the big van to find anyone misbehaving in South London. Here, you can watch it.
It's 2 a.m. and time to go back to the Old Kent Road. Tonight it seems all quiet, until they discover a man staggering around with no shirt on.
Right at the road. Where is your mate? Just tell us where he is.
Oh, you're rolling, mate. Boys, get yourself together.
No, just
come on, boys, get yourself together.
Where did you last see your
I'll
mate?
get in the boys.
No, hang on.
What you're about to see now is the first in the history of the Metropolitan Police, a man being physically ejected from a police van.
Are you getting anywhere?
I can already see
Get
him.
out.
He claims to have been attacked and sprayed in the face with ammonia.
I love that bit, because this guy's a professional voiceover artist on television, and hear what he did. Listen. He made a really stupid mistake. Listen.
Are you getting anywhere?
I can already see him, mate.
He claims to have been attacked and sprayed in the face with ammonia.
He got it wrong, didn't he? It's not ammonia, is it? It's ridiculous.
I can already see how my eyes, mate. This thing, like, it's like squirting pneumonia in the mouth or whatever.
Yes.
I've been squirted with pneumonia.
Where did
You've been squirted with pneumonia. Stupid. It's pneumonia you get sprayed with.
You go to the hospital?
I ain't been. I just happening now, mate.
Do you want to go to the hospital?
Well, fucking need to sort something out, mate.
That's obviously a GP, isn't he? But I think I'm having a minor heart attack. Do you think I should go to hospital? Fucking, you got to sort something out, haven't we?
Did you last see your mate? Where?
Me, got that scaffold.
By the
You know where all
scaffolding.
the scaffolds up down here, mate.
Scaffolding up there.
Come and have a club down there, right?
Which
Come out of
club?
a club. Which club?
Oh, right, mate, I can already
Which
see you.
club?
You went to a pub, wasn't it?
Not club, pub. It's you that's stupid. I'm the sensible one. Another thing I'm going to tell you have to really listen out for this. He's a South London boy, and as such, he's a bit of a ladies' man. And there comes a point where he discovers that one of these women, one of these police officers, is a woman. All right? And OK, he's had a bit to drink and he's got no shirt, but he's still a silver-tongued cavalier.
Let's go and get it. That's no good talking, is it?
Henry Cooper.
No good talking, is it?
Calm down.
Baby?
No,
I'll give you another chance.
Henry Cooper.
No good talking, is
Calm
it?
down.
Baby?
No,
No good talking, is it, baby? He's trying to cop off. And this woman, South London woman, obviously disgusted.
asking you where you've been.
No good fucking talking. It's no good talking. Get him off
How
fucking
dare he
man.
speak to me like that? So that's him. He's a brilliant man, right? He's brilliant. We'll see some more of him maybe at some other point, right? But I'm slightly more serious now. This is me being serious, look. Ever so slightly more serious now. I have to tell you this. Some people, male and female, have trouble finding partners, OK? Through no fault of their own. Doesn't mean that they're sad, or doesn't mean that they're ugly, doesn't mean that they've got terrible table habits. It just means that maybe they're too busy in their everyday life to find company. So they go to dating agencies, all right? And I made a film about one of them.
Going to go down to the Hay Wagon in Hartfield, a little country pub.
Here we are, Hay Wagon in
Have dinner there
Hartfield,
tonight,
big
have a
day.
chat, see how we get on.
And you're about to meet the most interesting dinner companion you can imagine. No bad habits, no banal conversation.
I suppose we could order, I wonder if he does a carafe of wine or a small bottle or something like that. Or we could order a couple of glasses, couldn't we? Eh, just with a meal, shall we? We'll do that. Well, I don't think we ought to drink a whole bottle since we're driving.
As soon as you're
I just
too
think
tight
it's
to
a bit
pay
silly,
for
isn't
it.
Bit daft.
Knows his
Have
way
a little
around a
bit of
wine
salt
list,
on
though.
I like a bit of salt on my dinner. Ooh, stand still. A little bit
Ooh,
of pepper.
stand still, bit of pepper.
If you want something more to drink or whatever, say so, and we'll
Expertise of
we'll
wine.
order up. We'll order up whatever we want.
Whatever we want.
Here goes.
Oh, exquisite.
Exquisite. Really, really nice.
Really, really nice. Oh, this is the other thing, right? What do women look for in a man? Sense of humour. A man who can crack a gag. A man who can curl you up. A gag like... Yeah, here's a good gag. I heard this the other day, actually. So you like this. Only 330 days to Christmas. No, you're just not interested. You're stupid.
Only 330 days to Christmas.
Oh, hang on. Sit properly.
Move my chair in a bit. That's better. I can sit back instead of straining my back. Oh,
Full fart.
if you lean forward too much, you strain your back, you know. It's funny. I like bread rolls. These are nice.
Funny that you like bread rolls. Now you're going to split that woman's sides. Days to Christmas joke followed by the funny I like bread rolls. You careful, you sexual monster.
Can I have another bread roll, please, in a minute?
there it comes.
Always a lovely man. Lovely. I
Always a
like
lovely
him.
man.
Nice time. Have a look at your diary and I'll have a look at mine.
Brush off coming
We'll
up.
see what we can do, shall we? See what we can fix up. Remember, we've got some free
Brush
time.
off.
Although we do live a long, long way apart, but we'll have to compromise on that. You drive one way and I'll drive another, or we meet in the middle.
Then we'll be in different parts of the country, won't we? Now, he has got some kind of naughty little habits, but he is nothing. He is as Casanova himself compared to this man.
I think that dating agencies are a very, very good way of finding somebody to have sex with.
Let me ask you something. All right, men are boorish because they're after, in a lot of cases, they're after sex. They're boring. The reason what is
Straight to the
is that
point.
they have these things called libido.
Yes.
And they're very...
Sorry, just let me explain something here, which I perhaps should have explained a bit earlier. This is a blind date, and they've been at this dinner table exactly 4.5 minutes. Right? This isn't after dinner conversation. This is his opening gambit.
They have these things called libido. And they're very, very horny. And they're very into women, and for sexual reasons, right?
And nothing else.
I like to see hairy women. It's horrible.
He likes hairy women.
It's horrible. They're like the foreigners, they don't shave under their arms, no. Women.
Right, I like that too. You don't shave under your arm, right?
Yes.
You don't?
Yeah.
I thought you said...
All he wants to know is whether she shaves under his... What is the fascination in this? What has a woman who doesn't shave under her arms got that another woman hasn't?
You like
No, I don't
foreigners
like
that
it.
don't?
No, I don't like
Oh, I
it.
love that.
Women?
Yes, you've got 3 minges, haven't you? One on either side of you. Beautiful.
You're so cruel.
That's my normal.
No, many things you are, but normal is not one of them. Sorry, I don't write it, I just report it, OK? I've got something else. You know what's happened here, don't you? I'll tell you what's happened here. Judy Zook's been round my house again. I always tell when Judy's been round, because she always takes all the little stickers off the back of my thing, so I never really know what's in them. Let's have a look. I'll be quite honest, I don't know what's on this tape, but we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Let's see. Something good, maybe? Something funny? Oh, excellent. It's my sister's wedding. Have a look anyway. Have a look, see what you think. That's the reception. We had it in a big marquee. I don't know what else is on it. Oh, yeah, it's me dad. It's me dad doing his party piece, as he calls it, which consists of getting a cigarette, lighting it, and then you put it into a table napkin and it doesn't burn a hole in it. That's my dad's party piece there. Oh, that's my mum doing her party piece, which consists of showing her knickers to blokes, basically. That's my auntie doing it. You're spoiling Pamela's big day. Oh, that's the maid of honour, there. There's my mum gone gaga. There you are. And there's my sister-in-law going away outfit. There you go. What more could you want? Actually, I got my sister the most magnificent present. I actually bought it for her with my own cash money, right? What I'll do is I'll get it and I'll show it to you. I think you'll be impressed by it.
Well, how long? Oh, right. And will that be networked? Obviously, there's a great deal of pressure involved because, as well as making the shows, there's a lot of meetings and important lunches and so on.
This afternoon, Ulrika's meeting a top TV executive to discuss an exciting new project. It's negotiation time.
Well, as you know, I'm desperately keen, but it all really hangs on the Network Centre's decision. How do we actually stand on that?
Well, don't mind, I'll just have a bit of salt on my dinner. All right. A bit of salt. Yeah, a bit of salt. Ooh, that's a bit of salt on there. Get that on there. There you go. Woo, woo. Stay up.
Right. Now, I don't know if Colin's spoken to you, but he's had 1 or 2 interesting ideas about the whole project.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we are now. Yeah, look.
Nice?
Exquisite. Exquisite. Lovely.
Actually, you know, Colin had this fabulous idea about us doing the whole project on location.
Well, it's only 333 days to Christmas, hey?
I have to say that at this point, I think we should start talking contracts.
I might have another one of them, I think. No, bread roll, please, in a minute. He's a lovely man, isn't he? He's a lovely man. He's a lovely man, isn't he? He's lovely.
Look, is this project going to get off the ground or not?
Well, you see, we do live a long way away, don't we? We'll have to compromise on that. You drive one way, and I'll drive the other way, and then we'll meet up in the middle, huh?
So how did it go?
I think the project looks really hopeful. Obviously, it's very difficult to say at this stage.
Ulrika, sorry, Bob, you're foreign, aren't you? Do you shave your armpits at all? Is it 1, 2? I got it. Well, I'll tell you what I got for her for a present, right? I bought her, listen to this, £5,500 worth of stereo equipment, a great big telly, and a full lounge suite. In the end, it cost me 12 grand for the lot in the end. In fact, it was so nice I kept it for myself. And I gave my sister that. 100 mince dishes. Perfect thing for the woman setting up home, I thought. But what I did do is I kept all the stereo equipment and I play all my fabulous music on it. And let's have some now. Who have I got in? Oh, yes! Let's have a bit of Stiff Little Fingers. see. Gentleman here, not even on the pavement. Now, he's walking along there. Now, he is, to us, he's an advert for an accident. Now, he's back up now, but he's teetering a little bit, you see. He's teetering a little bit. Now, he could sway over at any time and fall into the path of a parking car. He only just missed that bicycle there. I think we'll probably stalk him for a while because he looks like our kind of man. He's doing his best to stay on the pavement, you see. But no. You see, he's down. He's leaning to pick over a cigarette. Now, he could have toppled there. And that taxi would have taken his head off, really. That's what it would have done. Sorry, I've got to read my papers, right? Because I don't read papers. The problem I've got is this. I have every single paper in the world delivered to my house, right? And there's a little Welsh boy who does the paper round, and it takes him about 8 months to carry them all up my... Right? But there was one story caught my eye. I don't know if you saw this, but it brought a tear to my eye. In fact, it's not too strong a way of putting it. I don't know if you saw this. Bank takes back Rod Hull's house. Tragic story. Rod, great showbiz pal of mine, I have to tell you. Riding on the crest of a wave professionally, and then it all kind of, the bottom dropped out of the emu market, so to speak. And he found himself in very dire straits and was evicted and had his house taken away, which was horrible. Oh, there's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door.
Mr. Bob Charles James Hull. Mr. Hull, are you there? Mr. Hull, I have a court order here relating to court judgment 439176. Mr. Hull, we know the emu is attached to your arm.
Oh, emu! You told me there was 2 gentlemen at the door.
Would you stand aside, please, Mr. Hull? Mr. Hull, I have a court order here impelling me to... Mr. Hull!
I'm trying to do it.
Mr. Hull, please! Mr. Hull, please! Mr. Hull!
I'm not taking all those things. Stop, wait! You can't take this table!
I am sorry, Mr. Hull, but we are empowered to seize any of your possessions.
Ah, but that's not mine. This is Emu's. This is Emu's magic table.
Emu's magic table?
Yes, and this video, you can't have this. This is Emu's special video. And that plant, you can't take that. I reckon Uncle Womble bought you that, didn't he? Especially from Wimbledon Common.
Come on.
No, wait, Emu! Stop!
Everything all right, Mr. Hull?
No, Sooty, go get Zippy and Bungle and the boys, quick! Go, Emu!
It's 2 p.m. and time to go back to the Old Kent Road. It seems all quiet until they discover a man staggering around with no shirt on.
Yeah, they got my mate. Yeah, where's my mate? Yeah. Come on, they got my mate. Let's sort it out. They got my mate.
Mr. Hull, where's Emu?
Down the scaffold, down the club.
What club?
Not club, pub. They sprayed me pneumonia. They sprayed pneumonia in my eyes. I've been sprayed with pneumonia.
Do you want to go to hospital, Mr. Hull?
Fuck, you got to sort something out, haven't we? Come on, get yourselves together, baby. I'm not talking about it. Just go and get them. Come on. Just go and get them. Come on, let's go and get them. Let's go and get them. These are policemen on Streatham Common. I can tell you that. And they're looking for, how can I put this? Prostitutes. All right, that'll do. That's as good a word as any.
It's as the officers search the area that they suddenly get one of those chance breakthroughs.
Durex under there in the packets.
That's not the chance breakthrough that she's had some Durex in a packet.
Right, there's one on the bench. Then, there's one on the bench.
There's one there. There's one there. Now, there's one there. He's found one. She wants to know which one is it. So what do you expect? Female Caucasian between 20 and 30 years old. Chestnut hair, medium build, what?
Just a big fat one in yellow.
Big fat one in yellow. I want to show you something else now. Hey, look at me getting serious again now. This is another program that I made, right? Because, you know, I make loads of programs. But what I was going to show you was this, right? I digress then for a minute, but I do that all the time. People are always having a go at me. David Attenborough was going on the other night. Stop digressing, he said. And then he sat for 3.5 hours telling me stories about wildebeest, all right? This is a program that I'm sure you've seen. Of course you've seen it. It's the tragic tale of Mr. Graham Taylor and his last days as England manager. And it starts here. That's not Graham Taylor. Who's that? That's Hergé's Adventures of Tintin. He's looking for Snowy. Snowy, we must follow Arnold Sacknewsome wherever he goes, right? This is Graham Taylor, a very nice man, but a man right on the edge, not of Streatham Common, but of his nerves, right? His nerves are taut, tight as steel, because basically he knows that he's out of the World Cup, he's going to lose his job, whatever. Terrible situation to be in.
You know it, so... And then the fella scores the free kick. You can't say anything. I know you can't say anything. I know that.
Terrible state, but I know Graham very well. And one thing, no matter how wound up he is, he never loses his politeness. Because manners, ladies and gentlemen, cost nothing. And even now, in the depths of despair, he's still being very polite.
You see, at the end of the day, I get the sack now. I'll just saying to your colleague, referee's got me the sack. Thank you ever so much for that, won't we?
Thank you very much. I'll write him a little note myself, actually, when I get home. I'll do. And another example of it coming up here, right? Here, let's have a look at this. This is from an earlier game. And here he is here, being calm.
Hit legs! Hit legs over the top! Back it now! Les, demand it! All it is one, he's got his area to go. Tell him, Les!
See, the problem he's got here is that the midfielders aren't putting the ball over for Les Ferdinand to run into space. And he's going, and then he suddenly goes, wait a minute. Maybe I'm going over the top a little bit about this, all right? And he suddenly becomes very reasonable. He's telling Les, come on, call for the ball. And Les is saying, I'm calling for the ball.
Well, you tell him! They perhaps can't see you!
They perhaps can't see you. Not any reasonable behaviour. Like you walk across the road, someone runs you over. Oi! Oh, you was doing 120 miles an hour. I'm lying here down with internal bleeding. Well, perhaps you couldn't see me, all right. I'm willing to accept that might have been the case. But one of the reasons he was in such a state is because he had to work with Phil Neal. Now, Phil Neal, wonderful man, very talented footballing coach. And when he went to Lancaster Gate to get to this job, the job description was very simple. Wanted, man to agree with Graham Taylor.
A bold decision.
Very bold decision, that, boss. All I'm going to do is agree with you.
First time, was it? There's no need to touch it first, you know. Did you think it was necessary to kick it first time?
No.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest ball back to the desert either.
It wasn't, you're right. Phil, I was just going to ask you, the moon's made of cheese. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Phil, I'm wearing a dress tonight. So am I. Yes, so am I. Good idea, boss. Good idea.
Put him at the near post,
Near post. Where'd he come from?
All from over there.
Came from right over there, yeah. Just one thing here. Phil slightly oversteps the mark here, all right? You have to see, the boss says something and Phil expands on it and the boss has to put him in his place there, look.
Now this is a test, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real test.
It's a real test.
It's a real test.
I love that bit. I'm going to play that again, look. It's a test, it's a real test. It's a real test, actually.
Now this is a test, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real test.
This is a
real test. I decide how big a test it is.
So then again, it's righted. It's made.
This is the point where he realises not only can he agree with him verbally, but also physically, look. Oh, Laurie's joining in there. Touch of dyspepsia, I think, is all Laurie's got.
For Carlton Palmer. Into central midfield.
Yeah, I am you, Graham. Oh, there's a mirror, that's all I am, a mirror. And coming up is the point where they reach perfect synchronicity.
Went to fucking sleep, didn't we?
Yes! That's the point where That's it. I am you. That's it. Does the word doppelganger mean anything to you at all, Governor? Lovely. This is the final bit of this. It's very sad. It'll bring the tear to the eye of any true Englishman, I think. This is when they're lining up to go out and play Holland in that very ill-fated game when we were cheated, when we lost to the Dutch. And Graham had been watching a play that Shakespeare was supposed to have written. In fact, it was my great-great-great-grandfather, Mills Spear, that wrote it. He's been inspired by the scene that is given just before Agincourt in the very famous play, The King with the Number at the end, okay? And he tries to echo it, basically, appallingly.
OK, just 30 seconds now. In life, there's so many opportunities, and they're always round about us, but there's too many people in life that never see them. And then there are those people who see the opportunities, they don't want to grasp it. Right. And then there's the other people that generally are life's winners.
There's three lots
They
of
see
people.
the opportunities, they go looking for them, and when they see them, they grasp them.
Sorry, sorry, you're going to have to run that little bit by me again, Graham, I'm sorry. Let me get this straight. There are people who don't see them, people who see them and ignore them, and what's the third group of people?
And then there's the other people that generally are life's winners. They see the opportunities, they go looking for them.
Then they go looking
when they
for
see
them,
them,
and then they see them again.
And that's what you're facing now on the football field, isn't it? Go fucking take the opportunity, it's there for you, and wring every little bit out of it, OK?
That was bollocks, Graham, wasn't it? All right, footballers aren't the brightest people in the world, but they do recognise complete trite when they hear it. What he should have done was this, right? I'll tell you what he should have done, is this. This is from a programme that I made. I wrote it with Gary Lineker, who's a very, very good friend of mine. We fell out when he was playing in Sweden, and I wanted to get to the pub early, and I had him pulled off 10 minutes from the end because he had my car keys, right? But we wrote this together, and this is how you motivate people. Look. I don't want that. All right? That's it. That's all you have to do. Show them something, demonstrate it, and then say, I don't want that. That's what I don't want. Simple as that. Turn up at a garage with an old car with the wheels all flat, no engine in it, and just go, I don't want that. That's what I don't want, all right? The reason that I wrote that programme is I'm a bit of a moral crusader, really, because I like entertainment to be something that the whole family can watch. Mum and Dad and grandparents and kiddies all gathered round. I think it should be not always lightweight, but always morally right, if you know what I mean. Always politically correct. I think there's too much sex on the television. And most of all, ladies and gentlemen, I think there's too much violence on the television. Far too much. Too much by a long chalk. I don't want that, all right? That's what I don't want.
I see you're dressed out. You've been cycling, obviously.
Yeah.
And where do you cycle?
I cycle from Dalston, which is
Dalston?
Yeah.
Down to?
Down to here, Islington, and into the West End.
Right, down into the West End.
Have you ever come off your bike at all?
A couple of occasions, and that's
Twice?
what got me to get out, because I think it's worth it. I mean, it saves your life.
Yeah, if you come off, it's the difference between a serious injury and, you know.
Is it generally the fault of car drivers?
I think it is opening doors. They don't even bother to look, you know, through the wind mirror. You know.
Yeah, they just open the door without looking.
You're just asking people what their favourite flowers are.
Oh, my favourite flowers.
Yeah, flowers.
Roses.
Roses? What colour roses?
Red.
Red, isn't it?
Why red?
I just like red roses.
I just like them, red roses.
So what do you do in summer? You go around the park, something like that?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Go over the swings with my grandchildren.
You got, local swings, local swings, isn't there, around here?
Yeah, man up Chapel Street.
Chapel Street?
Have you got anyone who buys your flowers?
My husband sometimes.
Your husband?
And my daughter.
Your daughter buys it?
OK, coming back into the studio. Now, right, Bob, just 30 seconds now. in life there's so many opportunities and they're always round about us. But there's too many people in life that never take them, never see them. Then there's people that see the opportunities, they don't want to grasp them. Then there's some more people who grasp the opportunities a bit too tightly, they just pop out of their hand like soap in a man's bath. Then there's some other people see them out of the corner of their eye and just ignore them, go down the caff for double egg, chips and beans. And that's what you're facing now, isn't it? Just go fucking take the opportunity and just grab hold of it. It's the sort of opportunity you've got to get hold of, really squeeze it quite tightly and really get hold of it.
I'm not talking about it. I just can't get them.
See, at the end of the day, I get the sack now. I'll just say to your colleague, presenter's got me the sack. Tell him thanks very much for that, won't you?
I'll tell you what I was playing earlier. I had me sister's wedding video. Remember that? I forgot to show you a little bit, right? This is, I hope it's on it anyway. I don't know, I haven't seen these for... How long has she been married? Well, she's been divorced 7 years, so... About 8 years. 8 years ago she was married. Look. Oh, this is my Uncle Charlie. Look, it's my Uncle Charlie who very kindly gave them the knife to cut the cake with. There it is there. Mad Charlie in Broadmoor now, bless him. He's whacking that. And then I'll tell you what we did, right? We did the funny thing after the reception. You know, with the car, when they're going away car, you get some string and you tie up and you put some cans on it and some old boots and you cover it in shaving foam and write "Just Married" on the back. We done that. Unfortunately, I forgot the cans and the shaving foam, so we had to improvise with it. There it is, look. We done a bit of a laugh with it, didn't we? I had to drive all the way to Skegness in that. I had a great time.
That sounds an old question, that. Sounds from years ago. You got a photograph outside the police station. Probably taking somebody's picture. Islington police station you're talking about?
Islington police station.
Yeah. Right, what you do, got the main road here at the top, then you turn right. It's a fair walk up, it's on the right-hand side.
Fair walk up?
Yeah, is that where the guy's being charged, is it?
Oh, I thought that was the old police station.
Well, that's the main police station.
That's the main police station.
Yeah.
It's still there, is it?
You're talking about the guy who was arrested for something and in charge there? Or?
The guy's been arrested for something in charge?
No, I just wanted to go in because my car's been done.
Oh, your car's been done? You poor bastard.
Poor bastard.
You want a photograph it as well? That's where the main police station is, mate. Anyway, isn't the police station?
It isn't the police station.
Top of here, you turn right and it's up on the right-hand side.
On the right-hand side.
It'll take you about 5 minutes walk.
All right, thanks
Unless you're running.
We can go this way as well, can't we? We can go this way and cut up, yeah?
Yeah, you can. I mean, go right down the end. You can't get up here, sir. Right down the end.
Can't get up here?
No, you can't. There's no turn. Go right down the end, turn up. No, be careful, because when you go right there, you're in Essex Road.
Be careful, yeah, if you go right there,
you've got to change over to where the Slug and Lettuce pub is.
Oh, yeah.
And then turn right.
Slug and Lettuce?
Slug and Lettuce, yeah.
That's the pub.
Without the sandwiches.
Listen, welcome to Hollywood Corner. That's what I'm calling it, basically. As you know, I've got loads and loads of mates in the movie industry in Hollywood, and they very often send me little gifts. Thanks for help I've given them in some of the more difficult roles. And this is the latest I got. I received this just the other week. I'm very proud of this. This is off Mr. Marlon Brando, the well-known actor. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful, solid spice rack. And every imaginable spice is in there. Look, I'll just run through some. There's herbs de Provence there. Little French touch from Marlon. He would do that kind of thing. Ground coriander. And look at this here. Look at that. Let's take that out. Look, mixed herbs. Now, I will have probably that whole jar later on tonight on some toast. I love that. I just thought, oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Oregano. I'll have to get rid of oregano because Kate Bush is coming in and she's a bugger for a bit of oregano. So we'll get rid of that. I'll show you that because Marlon is a very, very dear friend of mine. And I've been involved in a project with... Come with me. And, I ran through the big room very quickly then. Come with me now. Here it is, here. I knew I'd find it somewhere. Here we go. Look at... Oh, here's a little tip for you, just a little tip. Always keep one of those in your home. Always try and do that. Especially if you have old people coming around to visit you and they come in and they say, any chance of a drink? Just give them that and they'll swig that down a treat. Lovely. Look at that. cup full of nails, basically. Well, it's unfair, but it gives the old people something to chuckle about on the way to the, well, hospital, I suppose, isn't it? This is the film I'm doing with Marlon. It's a film called Hearts of Darkness, okay? Which is, of course, a novel by Joseph Conrad, which you all know very well. And it's a film about the making of Apocalypse Now, which was made by Francis Ford Coppola, a very good friend of mine, but I'll give him full credit for that. I put some of the money up, and I gave him some technical advice, and I flew the helicopters, but other than that, and of course I rode Ride of the Valkyries, and what would the film be without that? But I made the documentary about the making of it. He wanted me around, and this seemed like a good way. This little bit here is narrated by Orson Welles, who I've never met in my life. And it explains the character of Kurtz, central character in the film, Kurtz. And it just explains what he should be like.
A group of natives appeared, bearing a stretcher. I looked down on the long, gaunt figure of Kurtz, the hollow cage of his ribs, a bald skeleton head, like an ivory ball.
The long, gaunt figure of Kurt, the hollow cage of his ribs, the shaved head like an ivory ball. A character played in the movie, ladies and gentlemen, by none other than Mr. Marlon Brando.
What did you do with Marlon Brando?
There's the chap there. As you can see, the long, gaunt figure, the hollow cage of his ribs, absolutely perfect apropos the head. Basically, Marlon Brando turned up on the shoot of this film, having not read the original book, having not read the script, having no idea at all what it was supposed to be about, and Frankie was in a state. He came to my cabin many, many nights sobbing. I can tell you that, ladies and gentlemen. And a man with a grey beard in bottle glass spectacles sobbing is not a pretty sight. But he was there, and I tried to comfort him. And the plan that we worked out together was to say to Marlon, Marlon, you're a great actor. Who knows? Who knows? Had there never been a Derek Nimmo, you may have been the greatest of all, okay? So what we said was get in there and improvise. We'll just film you. We'll try and make him look as much like Kurtz as we can. We'll just film you, and we'll try and get some usable dialogue out of you. Just the head we'll film.
That are made for garbage detail.
Good. We've got good
you
stuff
take
here.
The others who are made to think.
We can use this.
Act.
Yes.
You take...
What are you doing, Marlon?
I swallowed a bug.
Don't swallow a bug! Try again. Go again.
You. I even love you because
Brilliant.
You're a part of me. You're an extension of me.
I'll give you direction. Just go. Move.
What?
Don't say what! Start again. Let's try and salvage something out of it.
Why are we in Vietnam?
Just make it up. Make it up.
It's our time to grab.
Good.
This moment in history.
Good.
It's our time to teach. Huh?
Brilliant. Now, he's heading to this door. Get the cameraman round, quick. Get the cameraman round. He's heading to this door. We've got this. If we can just frame him in this light, it'll look a bit bulky, but it'll be such a powerful scene, we can use it. Just go there. As long as he keeps quiet, we'll be all right. Hold it there. Nice and quiet.
I can't think of any more dialogue today.
$6 million he got for saying, I can't think of any more dialogue to say. Sorry, you got to go back to the trailer and eat some, what have you got? Oh, cheeseburgers. Well, sounds wacky, but I'll have a go. Marlon Brando, a fitting way, I think, to bring the show to a close, because a great man, and that's pretty much it. There's a couple of minutes left to fill, but time, what's time? Time's a concept. It exists for me in a different way that it exists for you. For Indians out in the jungle, it's completely different. Time is just something that happens or doesn't happen, is or isn't. Light and dark, what are light and dark? They're just shades. That's all they are. I can't think of any more dialogue to say.
A small hotel in the country. Snowing outside, but warm and cozy inside. A couple of bottles of champagne. Just you
And me.
I don't want that. All right.